Hey everyone, it's Pat here for part 2 of our Jersey Fresh Winter Squash series for the month of November. And today we'll be playing Match That Squash. Essentially, I'm going to be putting pictures of different types of winter squash, and then everyone's going to have to guess based on the descriptions I have here in my hand. So let's introduce all the winter squash we'll be using today on 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Perfect. Welcome to the winter squash varieties that we'll be talking about today, and now let's get started. So the first one, these winter squash can be dark green with mottled blue-gray striping. This squash is round but flattened at the stem end, and it's not pointed like the red curry squash. Their flesh is smooth and intensely yellow, and the best uses for this squash are curries, soups, stir fries, and salads. Which winter squash am I? So what looks dark green with mottled blue-gray and it's pointing at the end? I see one in the corner that looks a lot like what I described. And if everyone's pointing at that one, they are correct, because that is the Kabocha winter squash. Perfect. And now to the next one. This winter squash differs from the larger carving pumpkins because they are bred for sweetness and not their size. They are orange and round with an inedible rind. And the best uses are for pies, custards, baked goods, curries, and stews. Which winter squash am I? Basically, what I got from that description is we were looking for a smaller pumpkin. Which one of these looks like a smaller pumpkin? Boom, right there. And that is what we call the pie pumpkin. Perfect. Moving on to the next one. This squash were named for their peanut-like shape and beige color. They are great for big recipes due to their density, and they have a vivid orange flesh that is super sweet. The best uses are for soups, purees, and pies. Which winter squash am I? So which one of these looks like a peanut? Can anyone help me out here? Is everyone? I feel like everyone's pointing to that one all the way in the corner because that is correct, and that is the butternut squash. Looks exactly like a peanut. On to the next. So this squash is good for feeding a crowd. They're a huge, bumpy textured squash, and they look like a giant gray lemon. Tapered at both ends and then round in the middle. The best uses are baked, mashed, and topped with sea salt and ground pepper and some butter. Which winter squash am I? Does anyone see a giant gray lemon looking like thing anywhere? Oh, right here. Yep, that is right, because that is the Blue Hubbard winter squash. Everyone's doing so good so far. I think we're almost halfway there. So on to the next one. This squash is bitter yellow in color with green stripes and shallow ridges. These rich, sweet, yellow flesh are flavorful and they taste like chestnuts, corn, and sweet potatoes. And this is the best type of squash to quickly cook. Which winter squash am I? So bitter yellow in color, green stripes. I feel like everyone's pointing to the one in the corner over here because they are correct, and that is the Delicata winter squash. Oh my God, we are definitely almost done. We only got 4 more. Hopefully everyone's 100% so far. So this winter squash is vivid orange and are shaped like onions. They have a chestnut-like flavor and are mildly sweet with a dense texture. The best uses are for Thai curries, soups, pilafs and gratins, and baked goods. Which winter squash am I? An orange-shaped onion-like thing. Does anyone see something that's orange and looks like an onion? I think I see it. That looks pretty much like a red curry winter squash. Oh, we're on the home stretch now. Hopefully everyone's still doing good. Oh, and here's an easy one. This forest green, deeply red squash resembles its namesake, the acorn. It has yellow-orange flesh and a tender, firm texture that holds up when cooked. And the best uses are baked, stuffed, or mashed. Who am I? Anything look like a dark green acorn? Anyone see that? Of course you do, it's right there. That is what we call the acorn squash. On to the last two. So these football-sized bright yellow squash are very different from other varieties. This squash has a pale golden interior and is stringy and dense. You can even use a fork to scrape it out to make little squash noodles. And the best uses are baked and separated and then mixed with pesto and tomato sauce. Which winter squash am I? Make noodles. Very yellow. Does anyone see that? Of course, it's right there. And that is what we call spaghetti squash. And it's so good, and it really is just like spaghetti noodles. And we are on to the last one. Now, hopefully everyone has gotten all of them correct so far, and we'll have 100% at the end of this game. So is everyone ready? I think I heard a yes for everyone. Alright, so these small squash are round and cream colored in green mottled streaks with deep ribs. They are pale, gold on the inside, and are renowned for their rich, honey-sweet flavor. Which winter squash am I? Now, there's only one left, so it might make a lot of sense if that is the last one. And that will be correct, and that is what we call the sweet dumpling winter squash. So hopefully everyone finished with 100%. I know it was a little quick fun game, and we learned a lot more about the different varieties of winter squash. So thank you everyone for coming out and playing Match That Squash, and we'll be back next time for even more fun videos.